You're listening to the Pants Off Podcast with Clark Bartram and Jeremy Jackson. CBTs, performance apparel, where fashion meets performance. Upload your custom design or grab the CBTs Deal of the Week at clarkstees.com. The podcast with CB and JJ is sponsored by Providence Video Productions in Escondido, California, providers of full creative, video, and audio production services. Utilizing state-of-the-art professional equipment for all your broadcast needs. Webpage, embedded, or live streaming videos and podcasts. Aerial drone videography. Music videos, 3D animation, studio, and field production. Contact us at providencevid.com.
What is going on, everyone? We are live here at the Pants Off Podcast with CB and JJ. JJ couldn't be here today. He had his car break down, so I have my trusty co-host here today with me. Happens to be my son, Mitch Bartram. Mitch, welcome back to the Pants Off Podcast, brother. How you doing today?
Thank you. I'm doing well. Just got the massage done.
Right
I was
on.
massaging someone.
Cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Now I'm just kicking it.
All right, so me and Mitch jumped in the car. We're driving down the street, and he goes, "Do you have a guest today? Did you get a hold of Kenny?" I said, "No, but let me call my man Kenny Bell right now." You might know him as the Madden Man. If you've ever played Madden, you've taken your joystick and run around with this guy. He does all the skill moves and everything. Make welcome to the show, the Pants Off Podcast, Mr. Kenny Bell, ladies and gentlemen, otherwise known as the Madden Man.
What's up? Yeah. Thanks for having me in the house, Clark. I definitely appreciate it, my man.
No doubt. Well, you're not only here because, first of all, we love you as a friend.
Likewise.
Second of all, you are a man full of massive amounts of knowledge as far as being healthy and living in a better body. And I'm sure we're going to get into some of that today. But you're just a great guy to be around. You bring a lot of positive energy. So that's what the Pants Off Podcast is all about. It's about bringing in positivity. It's about bringing in people who want to make a change in this world. And I think you qualify for that, my brother.
Man, I appreciate that, Clark, for real, man.
And you got the cool shades on, too.
I'm pushing to get the Pants Off program sponsored by Ray-Bans. Yes, I am name calling, but it's very important about the health, man. I'm glad you got me here because the state of the union as far as health in America is getting pretty bad, and not just America, across the world.
Yep.
So if you want to be right, you got to eat right. Ain't that right, Mr. Mitch Bartram?
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Man, do we want to dive in deep right out of the gate, or do we want to just go lightly here a little bit? Because we got a whole lot of time here on the Pants Off Podcast.
What is going lightly?
Going lightly is just kind of catching up, and it's been a while since we've done a broadcast. I've been traveling a lot, man. I've been on the road away. So just to bring you guys up, the reason we haven't done the show recently is because I've been traveling at the CrossFit Games with the Frog. Yeah, so I was out there promoting the Frog and doing that sort of thing. I was traveling with Saba, and
I was wondering why you were so lit up, ripped up, and cut up. I was like, I ain't seen this cat in 2 days. He looking like he flew over here.
Look at that, man.
He's fasting now, right? Well, he's eating fruits and veggies.
Yeah, I am definitely on a fast that Mitch got me started on. We'll get off into that because I'm sure there's a lot of commonalities here between a lot of what you've studied and are applying to your life, and a lot of what Mitch is learning right now, and he's teaching me. And actually, Mitch is teaching this protocol that he's learning online to people all around the country. And let me say this before we get into that. Kenny, you're a father, right? And it's really awesome to watch your kids. And I think oftentimes parents are guilty of trying to force your kids to do things that you want them to do because you're so excited about what you do as a parent. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. That's normal. But when your kids get to be, adults, right? And they're 23 years old, they're 26 years old, and you suddenly see them going into what it is that they want to do, and there's little hints of the things that you've dropped in along the way. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
It's pretty cool. So the other day, I was watching Mitch, he goes out, and I've always told him, man, you should do videos. And me, I'm real creative. I'm always like telling people what they should do. And, you should do these videos. But the more I told him, the less he wanted to do it.
Right.
I was like, screw you. I ain't doing this, man. It's got to be on my time. It's got to be my idea. So the other day I see him rolling out there and doing things that I recommended that he do. but he did it on his own time. And now Mitch is a YouTuber. He's following basically in my footsteps, carrying this message of health and fitness to the world. So that was a long intro to just me saying, Mitch, I'm proud of you for doing what you do, brother. I mean, it's really neat to watch. Yep, no doubt, man.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, I've been noticing that as well. I was just, like you said, it comes on out of when my own terms, like when I want to do it, when I feel like I don't want to manufacture something, you know what I mean? And I always felt like if I was to do it at those times in the past, it would be out of because you wanted me to, or because maybe it was a good idea, but I wasn't ready. Maybe I didn't feel like I had enough information that I wanted to share or whatever. But I'm looking to use it as more of just like a journal, but an informative journal as well, just sharing like where I'm at, because that kind of helps me when I feel like I don't know what to say.
Kind of like someone sneaks in your room and opens up your journal and reads it.
Yeah, but I let them. You know,
yeah.
But it's like I had some stuff come up when I thought about doing YouTube and stuff. Like, who am I to tell people stuff? You know, like I just have information that I've heard that I resonate with and that I want to share. Doesn't mean that they have to believe me or whatever, but I'm not trying to be believed. I'm trying to just tell you guys where I'm at, and then whoever resonates with it. But with that being said, I've definitely, like you said, have noticed the seeds that you've dropped in me in the past be blossoming into my own style.
That's cool to see.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Kenny Bell real quick here for a minute before we get him into that, because we know he can. You guys will both probably take over the show talking about all this information that we're all so passionate about.
Yeah.
Right.
But I introduced Kenny Bell as the Madden Man, and I said if you've ever played the game Madden, you actually used this guy right here. So he is the guy. If any skill player on Madden, Kenny, for the last 10 years.
Since 2004, and they looped the games over and over again. So
you were 04 Mike Vick.
Yeah, I was 04 Mike Vick actually, and the college games too, the NCAA.
Okay.
I always got to pay homage to that because that was one of the epic games that they had was the NCAA. But long story short is it's funny how things did go that way. I thought. When it first started, you would do one season of a game or whatever, and that would be it. But come to find out that they don't, some of the moves are not even legalized yet by the NFL. So it could be something in the database from 2008 that haven't been used yet.
Or they just keep them in the can, just waiting to bust it out.
Yeah,
so if the rules change, they got it ready.
We got celebrations, dance moves, all type of stuff, bro.
So they don't have to pay you more, basically, is what it comes to.
The contracts are serious.
They got the rights to your old moves.
Yeah, clearly it states whatever you do here, it's ours.
So, guys, I want you to understand, if you jump on and play Madden tonight, you're hearing from the guy right now who runs the routes, who does the dances. So do you have to sit there and watch Ray Lewis do his thing and then go out there and replicate that? You
know what? Yeah, you actually, the thing is about it is you have 60, it used to be 68 cameras. Now it's probably about, I would guess around 75 to 86 now, because the details and the dynamics and also the physicality has changed just a little bit. In the beginning we used to have to do a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of big time hitting and everything like that. But as technology got advanced and animation got better, they were able to bring things a little more condensed. So I think that's one of the main things that kind of put a platform for where I am now, is because in the beginning when I started doing this motion capture action footage, it wasn't heard of to have real guys really smashing against each other, and in that same breath, I digress. In '91 when they made the Joe Montana football game, and it was EA who made that. And it was actually a rival game to the other football console game that was out. And I actually met the guy who did, the NFL player who did the live action moves for that. And that was actually the first time they did that. And they round up, I want to say it was, who was the Super Bowl champions around that time. They took some of the players off the team and they did live motion capture. And that was the first time they did that. So long story short, you have the Madden series that opened up in '94. And then that drove all the way up to now, to where, like I said before, you got the moves and the animation is different, but once the animation get better, they bring the different moves, because when you have block drawings or different type of Adobe animation, certain moves just won't go together. So a lot of times you're waiting for the software to be manufactured to get these certain types of movements, and everything is real. So when you fall on the mat or when you fall on that field that these guys and myself are practicing and playing on, everything has to go right.
Or you're playing football.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
Right? Otherwise, it's not going to look real.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's funny, people say it's a green screen. They think it's a green screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you can totally tell from a green screen to 3D because a green screen is 2D.
No, you put on a suit, right?
Put on a suit, helmets.
How many different receptors are on that suit to see your movement? Just balls all over the place?
Yeah, pretty much. It's like the main movement regions. So you got your 7 chakras, I like to say, that they put the balls down there on the front and on the back. Then you have your shoulders and you have your forearms and your joint movements. So every ball is going to be on the joint movements. And you're doing mouth movements and facial movements. They have those dots everywhere. I'm sure you can look it up on the internet and find how they do the modern warfare stuff like that.
Yeah. Who is the hardest person to get down their moves, like Dion or someone like that?
Dude, Barry Sanders, bro.
Really?
Barry Sanders and Walter Payton, without a doubt. In 2007, I had to do that, and then it was putting those two guys with a Michael Vick.
Like coming up on someone and boom, and spinning around them or whatever.
Super hard.
Stopping, making a serious cut.
Yes.
You don't think about that when you're playing a game.
I remember playing those games too, because that was the game where they brought the Hall of Fame team in.
Yes.
And I remember playing those and thinking, these look like it has their little style to the way they run, the way Walter Payton does that long stride, hop step kind of thing. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
isn't that funny, Mitch, to think that you were playing those games back then?
And it was him.
Yeah, your boy.
I remember when I first met you, I was like, no way, he did all that stuff, man. I've been playing with you forever.
Yeah, man, it's definitely, it's definitely a blessing. For the funny, I'd say a lot of jokes about myself, Clark. That I say, if I was a rah guy, then everybody across the world would know how EA does their job and how things work. But I'm not a rah guy. They picked the right dude to do that job. In these big Fortune 500 companies, you come in and do the work and you put the time in and then you leave. Nobody knows these CEOs and these CFOs and these human relation people. What they make the things go around. They make it tick. They give you what you want to hear, see, feel, touch, and believe. So my job when I got in there, I wasn't. My claim to fame wasn't to be known to doing this. My claim to fame was anybody that want me to do a job, whether it be motion capture or get back on the football field or be a teacher or whatever. This is what I'm representing. So they found the guy that represented himself the right way, correctly, and also it fell in with the company. Because
you're an actor, man. I mean, you're that commercial we all did together.
Oh, that was fun, dude.
For Skin It. Yeah. For Skin It. That thing turned out good, man.
Yeah, it was pretty dope.
But you went, and I've been in front of the camera a fair share myself, and I've been around a lot of good actors, and the minute it was time to go to work, brother, you turned it on. And it was like people were, they say to go over the top. You definitely went over the top to the point where it's like, whoa, this guy's for real, man. And you're right. They did hire the right guy to do that, because I've been on the football field with you. Mitch has thrown passes to you, and I've seen you running at me kind of sideways and crooked, like which way is he going to go, but in full control.
Yeah.
And what are you, 37 now?
38. March 22nd, turned 38.
Snap.
The crazy thing is, Clark, is that I'm a true believer in first impressions is lasting impressions. I think if you're going to be fake with somebody in the beginning, you better be ready to be fake at the end. Because it's your true self is going to show up. And when it comes to doing big things, quote unquote, like a game where everybody in the world is going to know who you are, and then you're not getting paid buku dollars, but you're getting paid enough to where it'll keep you coming to work, and enough to where you can get up there and be lazy. So that first impression I set, it put the pressure on myself to continue to be the man who I am in any other situation, because everybody has a reference now. If they want me to work, they can call Clark Bartram or EA Sports or Mitch Bartram or anybody else. So I have to keep that on there, because that's all you have. A lot of times when you want to get into a club or a party or an official event, it's not about how much money you have. It's about who invited you,
right?
And that's off your character.
Well, go on there, you guys. Play some Madden, and support what Kenny does out there. And, get him, tell him they want him back on there again. But
yeah.
So with that being said, being 38, you have to be at the highest level of fitness. So let's segue into that a little bit right now.
Let's do it.
At least get Mitch in this conversation about, I know you're a big studier of Dr. Sebi.
Yes.
And Mitch has recently come on to Dr. Morse. Are you familiar with Dr. Morse?
Yes, I am.
Okay,
yeah.
So... Mitch, right now, go ahead. You jump in. How many days are you into your fast? You can see him with his grape juice.
Man, I guess I could check. It's been since the 28th
Nice.
of May. So how many days is that? It's like close to 20.
Liquid fast?
So I'll take you through it a little bit. Let me pull my calendar up so I can be
Nice
be
and
precise.
professional
So the
with this joint.
28th, I was sitting at home and I was on my bed thinking about, I don't know, just a way to. I've always been really into healing. Healing myself, being as healthy as I can be at my conscious level at the time. You know what I mean? So I had always been looking for different ways, and I felt like I wanted to step into it a little bit deeper, and I didn't know how. And I was just sitting in my room, and I remember when my friends told me when he was in Paraguay, he did a dry fast, and I had never heard of that before, and he told me, yeah, man, I went 30 hours not drinking any water, liquid, eating anything, consuming nothing, 30 hours. And it was a great experience for him. And at first I was like, not drinking any water, like what? And then I actually did some research into it, and I saw that it's one of the most powerful forms of detoxification and very necessary, to get some deep healing done, to get your lymphatic system moving and draining and things like that. And so on the 28th, I just thought, I haven't eaten today. Let me look into this fast a little bit more. I pulled up YouTube. I ran straight into Dr. Robert Morse on YouTube, and he started talking about these things that really resonated with me. And I just thought, okay, well, I haven't eaten at this point today. Maybe I should, start some other time. And I just like, you know what? Right now is good. So I just stopped eating. And when I say stopped eating, I stopped eating like anything that wasn't a fruit. So day one, I went outside to my fruit tree, my orange trees, and I just ate oranges all day off my trees. Day two, I ended up doing any fruit that I wanted to do. So, I had some pears, I had some oranges, some grapes. I think I had an avocado later on in the day, which is a fruit. And day three, I did any fruit once again. Day 4 and 5, I did grape juice. I got my grape juice right here with some lemon, like half a lemon squeezed in it. Nice. I did that for 2 days.
Nice.
The day after that, I did a 36-hour dry fast. So I did fruit, juice. And then on that Monday, the Sunday night, I stopped drinking water. By the time I woke up 8 o'clock the next morning, I was already 12 hours into my dry fast. I hadn't drank anything, hadn't eaten anything. I went until 8 o'clock the next morning, which was 36 hours. I broke it with some grape juice again. And that's kind of about the time where I got this idea to share this, because I thought I was becoming so passionate about it like I am now, and just stoked, thinking it's just one of the ultimate ways of healing that I've ever experienced. And I didn't want to keep this to myself. I wanted to keep sharing it. So I should do it on YouTube. I should start telling people on YouTube, start telling people on Instagram. So after some resistance coming up about, not feeling super comfortable about it and everything, I ended up just going into it. I made 3 YouTube videos, posted them on YouTube and on Instagram, little snippets just showing like, go check my channel out. Nice. And I had a lot of support.
Nice.
And along the way, I had a couple of friends who wanted to join me in my experience as well. And they asked for a guide. And what I thought was like going to be like a quick little 10-minute, like eat some fruit, blah, blah, blah. It was like a 2-hour just channeling of all this in-depth information. Wow. And I just wrote out this extremely explicit guide.
See, that right there, I need to jump in. That's when you know that you need to stop listening to those voices in your head saying you don't have anything to share with the world, because when it's channeled, when it's sent from God, when it's sent from the Creator, and it's not you, then it's your obligation, in my opinion, to share it.
Yep.
Yeah. I felt like I wouldn't have felt good about myself if I didn't share it, So I shared it, and I sat in front of the camera, and I was like, okay, like, what am I going to say? I don't know what to say. I felt like I had to prepare something, but I just pressed record, and it just flew out of me. 20 minutes, my first video, my next two, I think were 10 minutes each, just about sharing my experience and what I was seeing happen to my body, and my mind and my soul, through that, the fasting experience. And ever since then, I think today is, so it was the 28th, today's the 15th. It's been like close to 20 days.
Nice.
Yeah. And that's when people connect too with the message, is when you don't prepare it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And it's coming directly from the heart. And I think that is part of the thing that we get caught up in, right? Is thinking that we need to have some sort of prepared thing. When if you just come from the gut, like literally it's being like, it has to come out of you.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, then you're going to feel like, okay, I didn't do something right here,
Yeah.
It's moving by the Spirit, man.
Yeah. So today is day 19. I mixed another dry fast in there, like an 18-hour short dry fast. Other than that, I've been drinking all grape juice every single day. And then I think today's maybe day 5 of slowly reintroducing fruit back into my diet. So
How's
like
your energy?
solid food. My energy was through the roof when I wasn't eating anything. And then once I reintroduced fruit back in, I noticed myself kind of, because when you're not eating, when you're not putting anything into your body, the whole point of a fast and what kind of facilitates the detoxification is diverting your body's energy from consumption, from digestion to cellular, regeneration and revitalization, moving your lymphatic system and pulling toxins out of your body and things like that. Your body doesn't have to focus on anything that it's consuming because there's nothing there to consume. So what was the question?
Oh, your energy.
Yeah,
my energy. My energy
How's your memory?
was crazy. My memory like super clear. And once I ate like a cantaloupe or something, and it was kind of heavy, and I felt myself like taper back down a little bit, and I was all worried, like, oh no, is this
Am I going back to normal?
Exactly.
See, this is where you guys are. I think the two methodologies are going to blend about what you're going to say here.
It's the same exact thing as Dr. Sebi,
but
basically.
I think there's a few differences in there.
Yeah, for sure. But it's all about eating alkaline, creating an alkaline environment in your body rather than having an acidic environment.
Yeah, because he did
removing mucus.
He did a water fast and a dry fast for 40 days.
Yeah, he went blind, got his vision back, like his whole thing. Yeah.
Because I'm right with you on the energy, Mitch. Because when I get up, I don't. Sorry, when I get up, I don't eat a big breakfast. I take literally, my what they call cow mag, 2 cow mags and a B12 complex.
Yeah.
And I'm out the door with some water. But that's just how I operate because my body doesn't want that. And I probably won't eat until about, if I'm going out to, catch balls, punts, or train, even if it's lifting a heavy workout, I'm coming to Clark Bartram's garage crib and we're about to tear it up. I don't want anything in my stomach, because
Right.
I can't feel, I want to feel my body actually getting every ounce stronger. Like I want to feel that expansion.
You can feel that too. I experienced that today.
Yeah.
So I'm on a modified version of what Mitch is doing, and I'm going to say
Nice.
that so he doesn't yell at me. Okay. So for 8 days, 8 days, I've only been on fruits and vegetables. Okay.
Nice.
So all I eat is salad. But look, man, I'm no caffeine, no stimulants, no nothing. So I'm in this. You know what I mean? And so this morning I got up. I had a wheatgrass. And then I made juice. I had 2 apples. I juiced it. 2 apples, like 8 carrots, a whole tub of spinach, made a nice juice. But I went to the gym, and my first rep, I pulled it down. I could feel every muscle in my back. And in 7 days, I got ripped.
Yeah.
I mean, you see the difference in
Yes.
me. I'm shredded right now. In 7 days, I got ripped. I thought I should write the 7-day rip diet.
Dude, tell the
and
truth.
it's really, it ain't easy, but it's simple, right? Most people can't do what it is that we're talking about right now.
Right.
That's the unfortunate thing.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate because, guys, listen, man, there's a lot of benefits to what we're talking about. And we might get deep into this and it might lose some of you, but it doesn't matter because here's what we realized the other day. And we've known this all along. People will resonate when they're ready.
Yeah.
It's going to connect with them because when you first heard Marcel talking about, he did a 36-hour dry fast. You were
like, be careful, dude.
Yeah, be careful. What are you
Don't
talking
come to
about?
my
That's
house
crazy.
on
Now
day
people
35.
tell me,
And then when Kenny came
careful.
over talking about Dr. C being all excited, we thought he was nuts.
Like, what are they talking about?
I didn't think he was nuts. I had been knowing about Dr. Sebi for a while.
But the thing is, though, it's a awakening period across the world. I mean, there's no way around it, guys. I mean, all our waters are polluted. I mean, we had the situation over in Japan that radiation never got cleaned up.
Even our rainwater.
They just did a study on the waters in not just Flint, but also all across America. And there's a lot of pharmaceuticals that they found in the waters and hormones that are being distributed. All
Stuff's got to go somewhere.
Water. Yeah. But it's the chemical. I don't think it's so much the water per se. I think it's the chemicals of the foods that we're eating. Then you go and you defecate or you urinate in your commodes or whatever you're doing.
Well, there's water treatment facilities and things like that.
They don't work.
Commode. I haven't heard that word used in a long time. Commode.
I'm an old man. But there's, I think, honestly.
Even in those facilities, they're putting crazy stuff in there. So.
Yes. I mean, this is the thing. And it's not a conspiracy theory. We're not three guys up here with this conspiracy. We're telling you how we navigate through this eating jungle, this health jungle, if you will, because all these leaves look sweet and beautiful, and all these punches and all this stuff from the store look like running streams of water. But at the end of the day, that's not what it is. We do have a population situation, and we do have a food situation, and we do have a health situation. And I'm one of the people that's not afraid to address it directly. I think the cause and effect of why we're having a lot of these problems is directly in the food. Food is drugs. It's an addiction. I mean,
the biggest in the world.
Look how fast they can put up a Starbucks. Look how fast they can put up a McDonald's. Look how fast they put it right here. There's an Albertsons, and I'm not gonna say exactly where it's at, but there's an Albertsons. And there's a fast food place here to directly 45 degrees from it. And then directly in front of it, there's another fast food place. And then to the 45 degrees to the left, there's another fast food place. And then 90 degrees to the right, there's another fast food place. And then it's next, top it off with a liquor store.
It's probably in the poor neighborhood, man.
Yeah. So and the thing is, that's where you get your most fighters. All these athletes and these politicians and these people, they got these stories from these slums. If you go and you strengthen these areas where the food is more fast food, and you start making it more where, yes, the community have to feed each other, you make it more stronger people earlier in every community. And you won't have to be picking and looking and choosing and all this whining going on, because you're strengthening the community. You're teaching them to eat what each other eat. If we went about don't put this in there, don't put that in there, and we were just eating what Clark cooked or what Mitch cooked or what the mom and pop shop cooked, we'll probably still be healthier than we are now, because they don't have the resources to buy all that stuff you can make to make it fast. And I think the biggest thing I love about living in San Diego and is because, we do have a big Latino population, well, a so-called Hispanic population, but at the same time, it's a lot of homemade food being cooked out here. All those burritos and them tacos and them all that stuff you eat, man, you go in restaurants, it's all fresh vegetables. There's nothing packaged in there.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing. And I don't mean to be long-winded, but like you said, this is a passionate subject.
Right.
Yeah,
what I mean?
for sure.
And it's not being addressed quick enough, because I have smaller children, and it's hard as heck just to get them to understand what meat does. They don't fear that.
Well, they used to say you'd have to shop the perimeter of the grocery store. You can't even go the whole perimeter anymore. There's only like one part of the grocery store that you can shop in.
Yeah.
Because as you go around the perimeter, you run into the milk, you run into the meat,
Yes.
you run into the other things that are supposedly what we were trying to direct people to when we told them to eat healthy. Shop the perimeter, stay away from the inside where all the packaged and all that sort of stuff is. That area is getting smaller, and it's the fruits and vegetables section.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But even in that is becoming smaller.
Yep.
Right? Because of all of the ways that these things are being produced now. And it's getting... You have to be a little bit more conscious, I think is the best word to use, of what you're doing, because we go blindly throughout this world based upon conditioned thinking and conditioned
Totally agree.
behavior, you know?
Yep.
So
Yeah,
I'm looking at you, Mitch, to get you to jump in there. So
What you feel like the biggest thing? My question to you, Mitch, would be what would like what's your route like when it comes to eating clean? I mean, like how there's one Mitch in front of me, but I'm sure there's about 1,000 Mitches from here to LA.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What is you guys' formula to get away from that stuff? Like what's the lifelong fix, not the 3 months fix? What would be your formula?
So right now, I encourage everybody to go on YouTube and type in Robert Morse ND. Robert, and then Morse is MORSEND. That's the YouTube channel where I've done an extensive amount of, learning and just being a student of this guy named Dr. Robert Morse, who is a naturopath and a herbalist. And so basically what I've been learning
50
from him.
years of experience.
Yeah, I mean,
healing people.
hundreds of thousands of healing people from multiple sclerosis, cancer, AIDS, things that people say have no cures, like viruses.
Let me ask you a question. Does he have a Pulitzer Prize award?
No,
Or
no, a Nobel Peace Prize or something like that.
None
No,
of that, huh?
it's funny. I just
That's
saw.
crazy.
Not a ton of people even know about him unless you're looking for him. You know what I mean? But
Is he being harassed by the government?
he is. He fights a lot of people. He fights a lot of. He's in court all the time apparently.
Fighting a lot of meat eaters.
I've been wondering if they're trying to come after him and stuff like that because the whole Dr. Sebi thing and there's all these holistic health people who are disappearing and stuff like that. I'm not trying to get too crazy out here, but
we only on Facebook. Don't worry about it.
Right. Right. The book of your face, dude.
Yeah,
Facial recognition. All
That's
right. But anyways, what I've been learning from him is that humans, whether or not what we're eating right now is an extremely flawed diet. And what we were created to eat is fruit. We're natural frugivores.
Yep.
And that's because we can digest that. We can't digest everything else that we're eating. If it's not fruit, for the most part, is going to ferment in your stomach and is going to, he calls it putrefy. Yeah, putrefy. And it's just horrific for you. That's where gas fermentation comes from, and it destroys the mucosal layer. Yeah, you got too much sulfur in there, man. That's why you got those yellow rings around your
command.
Can destroy the mucosal layers of your intestinal walls and things like that. And fruit is basically the only thing that we can healthily digest. Some people cook veggies and stuff like that and it makes it a little bit easier to digest,
right?
Because it breaks down the cellulose and things like that. But when you cook food, you're destroying the electricity of it. You're destroying the electricity. You're lowering the frequency of it. If you want to talk about physical, you're destroying the nutrients in it as well. So if you can't get with all the other stuff like frequency and electricity of your food, which is crazy because we're all that. Exactly. Putting shit in your microwave, you're destroying everything in your food, not just nutrients, but electricity and frequency and all that. So what we want to eat is electrical, high frequency food, and that's what fruit is. We all have an electric field, and some fruit are high in electricity, some fruits are lower in electricity, but most fruits have enough electricity to sustain us. And meats have no electricity once cooked. And they're extremely acidic, animal products. Milk is one of the most mucus forming substances on earth. It's basically just mucus. It's pus.
That's diabetes.
Yeah. And that's where dis-ease in our bodies thrive. It's an acidic mucus environment. And once you shift your body from acidic to alkaline and from, just full of mucus and you kind of detox some of that stuff out and you're cleaner.
Right.
You can't have these conditions that are called diseases. They can't thrive in that.
Yeah.
And so what we kind of need to bring this back to people listening so they can apply it to their life. So we're pretty extreme guys. Everything we do, we go to the extreme, right? We are what might be referred to as overachievers or whatever. You just really kind of get into it. And
I can already start talking if you want.
Yeah, just the people out there need to have something that they can apply.
Right. So I'm giving my guide out to people, and stuff like that. And to me, it's like you said, it's not easy, but it's simple. And to me, it kind of is easy. I think that it should be easy, but I know that there's some people out here that are.
You were raised by a machine.
Yeah.
You were.
I second that. You guys aren't sitting next to this dude, and the protege is like, man, this dude, Mr. Bartram, is dark matter. You guys got to watch out for this cat.
Basically, all I'm trying to say is if you can change any habit and slowly move into a healthier diet, instead of having steak for dinner and you just, you move that to just having a bowl of, you just steam some veggies and, have a big bowl of steamed veggies or whatever. And it can be bomb veggies that whatever, spiced all the way up and everything like that. You still made a step in the right direction. You might be having eggs and bacon for breakfast, but instead of having, beef for dinner, you change that. That's one step in the right direction. If you just keep making little steps like that, or eat for lunch, instead of having that whatever you were going to have, you can decide to add a little bit more raw things into your world, like have some raw fruit. Most fruit that people eat is raw. I don't think a lot of people are out here cooking their fruits and stuff like that, but just have some fruit, try to incorporate more fruit into your diet. It's high electrical, high frequency, easy to digest. It has a lot of energy for you. It's very sustainable. A lot of people are like, what about all the sugar and stuff like that? First of all, you're probably eating things in your diet that make that question absurd because you're already consuming a ridiculous, like you're drinking a big gulp of soda or something and then saying, well, fruit has a lot of sugar in it. And it's just like, where's that coming from? But first of all, fruit has fructose, which doesn't have to go through insulin to be. So people are like, what about like your your glycemic index shooting up and stuff like that? If you want information, go watch Dr. Robert Morse, and you don't have to do everything he says to do, but you can take bits and pieces from him and just start to make healthier habits. I am trying to go all in on my health, detox my body, get my lymphatic system moving, get my kidneys filtering, boost my adrenal and my endocrine glands up again, and just be as healthy as I possibly can be because I know I can do it. I know I'm capable of it. But for people who aren't ready for that because we're addicted to food, and I've had so many cravings come up and things like that. But one of the things about this fast is I've been realizing that my mind is not me. We don't have to identify as our minds. A lot of times when you have a thought come across, you're like, okay, that's me. If you get, I'm hungry. It's just your mind saying that. Sometimes you don't have to buy into that. Ask your body, listen to your body, and feel your body. Is your body actually hungry, or is your mind just telling you that because you want to taste something good? So I've been realizing I don't have to identify as my mind. I can ask myself if what my mind is telling me is something I want to act on or not. And a lot of times it's not. So I've been breaking a lot of habits. Like I'll turn on to
referred to as discipline.
Yeah.
I'll turn on to my street. Much. I'll turn on to my street, and my street means home, and home means food. And then it's all of a sudden my mind's like, oh, you're going to go eat. I get all excited and stuff. And then it's just like, well, I'm not even hungry. Like my body's just telling me that. And I'm just learning to break through like mental habits and things like that, and realizing that our minds are tools for us to use for our highest well-being but a lot of us, most of us, if not all of us, are conditioned for our mind to use us. You know what I mean? Like our mind,
you're a slave,
is controlling us.
So let me jump in here. Kim on Facebook says there's a difference between store-bought milk and raw milk, though, and Dr. Morris talks about that.
Yeah, he also disagrees with that. I mean, milk is milk. It's still we don't need that after about 2 years old, and we don't need cow's milk at any point in our entire life, because guess why? We're not cows. That's for cows. You know what I mean? If we're gonna drink milk, why not squeeze it out your mom's boob and keep drinking it until you're 48 or 52 or till you die? but we don't need that. That's for infants. That's jam-packed with nutrients that we need when we're growing, and after that, it's over. You know what I mean? So if you want to go the raw milk way, so you're still drinking mucus, and it's acidic, and it's creating a acidic mucus environment in your body.
It trips me out when I see a grown person sitting down to dinner with a big glass of milk. Yeah. That's usually in the Midwest. I've never seen it in California, ever.
Me either. I'm like, you better be in a gang of damn peppers who's going to do that. You better have a reason behind that. You better be drunk or something. Not that damn milk. I want, you mind if I hop in on what Mitch was just chiming on what he was saying? You know, he's right. With the mind, is everybody want to know this? No, this is my biggest. The biggest thing I think is a misconception about the health situation. You know, everybody want to be on these meal plans and this, that, and the third. But you're asking me or Clark or Mitch or any other health person, and not even just a health professional, somebody who knows their stuff about meal plans and meal prep and all that. I can't tell you what to eat. I can't tell you what's going to make you wake up. I'm for the meal prep, but I think each individual needs to prep your own meals. I think if I'm making your meals for you, I don't know your DNA. I don't know what wakes you up. A grapefruit might make you sleepy at night, and it might give you energy in the morning, and vice versa for the next person. So I feel these are another gimmicks that are set up by certain people, or just by it's this thing. Like, I know Clark does health meals for people, but he talks to these people. He knows about them. He gets into them. And some people go to a meal prep company and they send them meals to be prepped. Those are two different things. I think in a way, especially when it comes to meat. Now, I don't think I've been this vegan dude my whole life and all this junk. And no, man, I mean, when I met Clark, I was flipping the burgers and making the ribs and frying the chicken and mashing the potatoes. I was on my thing. You know, I can cook pretty well. You know, so it wasn't just I'm this perfect dude. You know, what got me, it wasn't, and I was going to do the meal plan and the meal prep stuff, you know, but I realized that's not how life lives. We are our own quote unquote animals of this world. You know, like when a lion gets up, he don't know exactly how a lioness don't know how she's going to get that meal and exactly how it's going to happen, but they know it's going to happen. You know, and that's how I eat. You know, I don't know exactly what I'm going to eat, you know, and that next day I just know I'm going to eat when I'm hungry, you know, and that's what started changing me up. And like Mitch said earlier, and I was beginning to step on that point, was the fact that it's what you put in your mind. You know, when you are watching these YouTube, my thing was I need to get as much information in my mind so my body can follow. So even though I was looking at all this stuff about not just Dr. Sebi, but Dr. Mitch had brought up a couple other holistic doctors, all types of stuff. I was looking at all this information, and not just doctors, but regular people. And I had to make the information real to me, so it wouldn't be a 10-year thing and I'm back on this. Or I had to make it to where it was so convincing to where I could see myself 10 years down the line or 20 years down the line if I keep doing what I'm doing. That's another thing, you want to make sure that your diet is sustainable, because I don't necessarily think that I am going to be a fruitarian for the rest of my life, which means I'm eating only fruit for every single meal until I die. Right. Maybe that would be ideal. I know there's people out there that are going to trip on that and debate that and everything. Go ahead. But maybe that would be ideal, being raw for the rest of my life, raw vegan or whatever. But I like other things that I want to eat, like maybe I want to eat some.
See, that's going to make a lot of people feel good, though.
Right. No, you want to have balance. I had an amazing talk with this person on Instagram who we're going back and forth with, and we're going back and forth with each other, and just sharing our experiences with each other, and talking about how you can get too strict, you can get too rigid, and maybe your physical body is healthier because of your discipline in your diet, but it starts to affect your emotional body and your emotional well-being and things like that. And you always want to be able to have balance. And another thing that I've surely experienced, and we even talked about it on the way here, or maybe it was like on the car on the way to the church the other day. You want to make sure that you're always, grounding yourself, because when you eat these raw foods and these high frequency foods, you start experiencing different levels of consciousness and realizing that we're not just these vessels that we're inhabiting here on this earth, but we are living in these bodies right now in this life. And if you want to, be able to be a human, you gotta ground yourself a little bit and eat some other stuff to balance you out.
Or you don't want to become an ism, like we had Dave Sandoval on here, and he talked about being an ism, and that's how he described Jeremy. He's like, dude, you were an ism. You were into vegetarianism. You were into veganism. You were into all these different. And guys, listen, we're going deep into a subject matter that might be, losing you at some point. But what we're saying is, and what I had mentioned earlier, is that people are going to resonate with things when they're ready to resonate. Yeah. Kenny just touched on that.
I can feel it when I start saying things that I know are going to confuse some people.
Right.
But I'm not trying to censor my language just because maybe some people won't understand or whatever. I am passionate about this, and I know where I'm at, and I know where I'm going, and I know where I've been, and
there's a season for everything in people's lives, and when people resonate with it, if someone right now goes, I finally get it. I finally get what they're saying. I'm ready to do this. Okay, Mitch, I'm going to get on your plan. And they go 21 days, for example, and they do fruits and vegetables only raw, and they follow it. They're doing the grape juice, on the days you recommend it. And then after that, they slowly, get back into normal life again, and maybe they're going to eat meat again, and you're going to do it in a certain way, and you're taught
and once
that.
Again, that's a step in the right direction. You detox your body, you change some habits, you went through
maybe
the whole
heal
experience.
some things that happen in your body, get rid of some gunk in your intestinal tract.
You got to be your own guinea pig.
Right. And that's what Kenny was saying. All of these things that we're doing for convenience purposes, like getting meal prep services done, which I don't disagree with. If it helps somebody maybe eat a little bit better, then great. But again, it's just another level. So, again, my job here is to always bring this back to the people listening and go, this information is for you to let go in your body. You take the fish, leave the bones, and you apply whatever you can apply. So if at the end of this, all you apply is one day, like the other day on Facebook, I asked people, give me one day. If one day you can eat fruits and vegetables only, take it one step, then check in with me after that day and let me know how you feel. And it was really interesting. I had one guy say, I lost 1.6 pounds and I got off the coffee because I said, no coffee. Can I have a protein shake? I said, did I say protein shake anywhere? Fruits and vegetables only. People are amazing, man. Fruits and vegetables only. So this guy said, I lost 1.6 pounds in a day. And he goes, it may have been only poop. I'm like, great. That's exactly what you want. You want to.
That was a little detox.
You just one day. And then he goes, I'm a little disappointed by the fact that my blood pressure didn't go down after not having caffeine. I said, man, come on, brother.
24 hours.
I said, you're a smart guy. And this is how you know me. I don't pull any punches. I said, you're a smart guy. Why in the hell would you think that after one day, your blood pressure is going to suddenly change just because you didn't have coffee? You realize there's a lingering effect in your body. There's stress. There's all sorts of other things that factor in other than caffeine. But people want instant results because we live in this conditioned world of fast food restaurants, microwaves, get your degree online, get married in Vegas, all this stuff that's like boop, 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 and quick. So when 20 pounds took 5 years to creep up on somebody, and now after 2 weeks, even a month, 60 days, they're going, I only lost 25 pounds in 6 months. I'm like, are you kidding? That's fabulous.
Man,
you know what I mean?
That's
so
the
get your heads right, man. Stop stop the insanity. Stop the insanity of expecting so much so soon when shit didn't happen to you overnight.
Right. This, the cold part about it is, Clark, I think this whole thing now is everybody is their own little coach. It's like when you do tell them something, they have a.
Eventually, you're on your own.
Yeah, because that's and if you guys really listen to what we're saying, that's what we're quote unquote promoting. You need a coach to help you, of course, but once you get on the field, the coach ain't out there playing. Coach is on the sideline trying to help you out. So the biggest thing is you got to have analogies. You got to have things that how does it make sense to you? What makes sense to me was I was looking on YouTube, and this is a shout out to Bro Sanchez. I was looking on YouTube, and the brother was talking about pre-dynastic times and how we used to just eat plants and the fruits and stuff like that, and we live by the earth. But after a while, you figure when they started going after the animals, why do the animal run? When you're going after to go eat it, why does it flee? Why does it, it has no attack mode to attack a human with that gun, or when they hear that loud pow, they take off. It's because you're not supposed to eat those.
What do fruits do, Kenny?
They sit there and they
fall
put
off
this
the tree.
They
perfume.
fall off the tree and roll over towards you.
And they put this smell in your nose. Yeah, come get me, baby.
Dude,
How
those
much
orange
you want?
trees in the front yard smell so good when
Yeah,
they're
because they
blossoming.
fat and juicy.
Dude,
You know what I mean?
our oranges are the juiciest
Yeah.
oranges on the planet. Dude,
3
you
orange
have-
trees too.
You have the best
excuse me.
thing right in front of our house, man.
Yeah,
You know?
that's what my first couple of days, and even now that I'm eating fruit again, I just go out into my front yard, pick an orange tree off. They're so ripe that as you pull it off the tree, it tears the top of the orange off, and you just easily open it and enjoy it. And it's just been dope. I haven't had to pay for anything. I've been eating straight from the earth, at my home.
I planted a garden.
Yeah.
I just put a little blackberry bush in
Ooh.
today. So we're going to really turn the Bartram Ranch into that. That's my goal.
The
is to
wholesome
really,
ranch.
Yeah, have an abundance of life-giving food available to us that we want. Of course, we're not going off the grid or anything like that, but
One of these days.
yeah, I mean, the more you can do that, I think the better off you're going to be, because you had talked about it in the meal prep thing. There's something that happens when you're preparing your food in your digestive system.
Boy, go ahead.
Your body starts preparing itself to digest that food.
Yes.
But when you rush through a drive-through eating these man-made things, and you're quickly eating while you're driving, and then you wonder why you have stomach problems, and you wonder why you're farting all the time.
damn ambush.
Yeah, I mean, your body is made. That's why the day of sitting down as a family to eat food, man, I can remember in my house as a kid just smelling. I had a pretty crazy upbringing, but one thing there always was in my house was food. And it seemed to be the one thing that calmed everybody down. We lived in a crazy ass neighborhood, man. But every gangster, every hoodlum, every thief, I'm telling you, and it's the God's honest truth, I'm not exaggerating, would come to our house and the door was open and they could come in, open up the fresh bread from Gus's down the street and dip it in the sauce that my mom was making, and it would calm everybody down, man.
Shout out to Gus.
Gus.
Man.
Yeah, it really is neat, man. So I think that's kind of where society needs to kind of
So hold on, Clark, hold on. So check it out. I think you hitting something pretty strong here, my man. At those times when we were sitting down and eating, the food was a little more pure back then, right?
Yeah, man.
So it's almost like, man, did they?
I don't know about that.
It wasn't
it was definitely different, because
Yeah.
everything evolves, right?
Yeah.
And they're getting better at making shit that ain't food.
There was no 3D printers
true.
at all.
Yeah.
And what's this? What we talking about? 68,
70s.
72?
Yeah, man, the
you know
early
what I mean?
70s,
Yeah,
man.
so you think about it. Look, I don't mean to sound like a conspiracy theorist, and if I do, hey, shout out to all my conspiracy theorists out there.
Truth tellers.
The thing is, it's like if we corrupt the food and we destroy the food, we
Yeah.
don't keep them at the dinner table no more. If we put the shows or everything is fast and instant gratification, and we destroy the food, and we put the information out there so they get it, we keep them away from the dinner table with one another.
Tearing communities apart.
Yeah, it's not like I hate you, Dad, I hate you, Mom, or I hate my neighbor, this, that, and the third. Is, dude, they messed the food up. They separate us with this food situation. Not saying we should still be eating meat and all that stuff, and I digress. As far as the meat situation, our meat is just bad, you guys. You can't eat a dead animal. You go to Walmart or any other place, you don't know how long the food been in a package on that shelf. You don't know. So it's not about. I know it tastes good, y'all. I know it do.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's delicious. I know it is. I was the same way. I haven't, like I said, I have not been like this forever. It's only been about 2.5 years, but at the same time, I still remember what it tastes like. I know
We're all drug addicts.
Yeah.
We're all drug addicts, and people, if you just would look,
I am a food addict.
look at your food as either a medicine or a drug, you realize a lot of us are straight drug addicts defending ourselves and everyone else. But someone else is out there doing heroin, which, for the sake
Be
of the
all
analogy,
over 'em.
tastes super good
Yeah.
and makes them feel good, but destroys their health. But they want to keep doing
Instant
it because it
gratification.
makes it
Yeah.
taste good and makes them feel good, all that. But we're doing the same thing with our food. Just because it tastes good and it feels good, but it's not good for our health, we keep justifying it for some reason and letting our family members do it, letting ourselves do it, and keep making up reasons for why we should be able to do it. But it's crazy because we're all justifying doing drugs that are destroying our bodies.
It's like
and
an
our health.
analogy. It's this analogy. You got that one real good looking chick, and she's fine as all get out. You know what I mean? And you finally get to meet her, and you get her back home, and you figure out she don't wash her drawers. You figure out that outfit she wearing, she done wore it 3-4 times. You figure out that makeup she got on is old and it's just caked up.
How
but
dare her?
But it's beautiful though. It's beautiful, and you don't have to go to her house. You don't have to see what she's about. Well, even if it's a guy, for all you ladies out there, this is an analogy for both sexes.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that person that you brought in there is still dirty. No matter how you clean it up. I don't care if you age this meat or if you soak this and if you put this and cook this and sear this. And look, it still is what it is.
Still gonna putrefy and ferment
it's not
in your
going to
stomach.
change.
And
Yeah. You know
Speaking
what?
of pretty women, we got Anita Alvarado Bartram on here, and she says, "Great information, guys. I'm learning a lot."
Oh, that's what's up.
Isn't that
That's
nice?
What's up. That is nice.
It's
nice.
great to be able to connect with the world on this medium that we have here called Facebook. We're doing something positive with it, and we're going to put this on YouTube as well.
Straight up.
But, our mission, our goal here, again, just to bring it back, is to educate people, motivate them, encourage them, get them to think. Because I think too often people aren't thinking,
I kind of wanted to bring it all back as well and say, with how passionate I am and how passionate, Kenny and you are, I'm not trying to say, and we're not trying to say, we're not trying to judge anybody for the way that they're eating because we were all there. Like he just said, he used to cook his meat up and do everything. I used to drink alcohol and go pick up McDonald's from the drive-thru.
What?
You know what I mean? And
Nita, did you hear that? Mitch used to drink alcohol.
all right, I'm trying to cut through the jokes and give some words here.
Fast food crack rocks.
So we have all been in a place where we've made decisions that weren't good for our health. And I'm not trying to say that anybody out there who is doing things like that is wrong and that they're bad people. I just want to share knowledge that I know is going to heal people, and it's healed myself, and I want people to be healthy, and I just want someone to get a little bit of new perspective from this and make one change in their life. Maybe they could make a radical change and go on this detox, go on a crazy fast. I say crazy because maybe you would perceive it like that if you're not eating food for 20 days or 40 days or 6 days or 1 day. I know a lot of people have trouble thinking about that, but if you just, like I said, switch a meal to raw, I just want someone to know that it's like you can just make simple little steps, and we're not here to judge. Like I still want to go home and eat chips and salsa and go get a burrito from the Mexican spot down the road, and
might do that
and
again.
I might do that because it's about balance. If once I detox my body of some things that I want to get rid of and get my glands back in order and my systems back in order and things like that, maybe I'll go have a burrito one day because, if I'm 90% healthy and eat 10% of stuff that
Why not have
eating
a rice and bean burrito with all the fixings?
Exactly. So I just want people to be just to know that they
we're
can
not
make
judging
slow
anyone.
moves out
We love
there.
you.
We love you guys.
And that's
and
the purpose of this, because we love you.
I just get really passionate, and sometimes I get caught up in thinking like, there's no other way. Like I'm like, you got to do this, and it can maybe come across like that. But I'm just super excited about it for myself. I know it's right for me. That's why when you think something's right for yourself, you want to put it on everybody else.
Yeah, you get passionate. So
Yeah.
what would the Pants Off podcast be if we didn't talk about poop?
We got pants
All right,
on
got the
today.
pants
Yeah, we got pants on. So, hey, let's talk about poop. You got like what, 7, 8, 10 days into your
dude,
thing, and
I was 10 days deep consuming nothing solid. I was drinking grape juice for 10 days, And even two of those days, I did a dry fast, which is not consuming any liquid or fruit, nothing. And I was shitting out solid turds, like logs, black tar.
Detox.
And that was stuff that was stuck in my intestines that I was getting rid of. You know, those things are in us. We got a lot of stuff going on in our bodies that we got to get rid of, and we just don't do it.
What's that show? Monster in Us? The
Monster in Us.
Yeah, all these parasites. I guarantee you got some worms in you.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. I mean,
Please look up Dr. Robert Morse and watch some videos of him on YouTube.
He's awesome.
Please,
Dude. He looks
he's
good. How
awesome.
old is he?
I don't know. He's not young.
He looks good, man. His
He
face,
looks
his
very
skin
good.
looks good.
He's a
his
beautiful
hair.
human. Yeah. So look up Dr. Robert Morse. I'm going to drop this on you guys too, because I'm doing my YouTube channel and I'm sharing a lot of information on Instagram. And if you want to get on the guide or just look at it, or if you want to tell me I'm wrong about something, or you want to debate something, or you want to ask a question, I am super open to talking. All I want to do is share information that I'm passionate about and help guide people and help facilitate healing that I know is possible and that is happening for me and for a lot of other people that have, asked me about this, and a lot of other people who have seen Dr. Robert Morse and people who are detoxing and fasting and going on this journey. I just want to share it with everybody. So my YouTube page is Mitch Bartram. Just type in Mitch Bartram on YouTube and you'll find it. My Instagram is @MitchBartram. It's MitchBartram. Go on there. I got plenty of information from me. I'm sharing information from Dr. Robert Morse. I got a guide. You just send me your email. I'll send it over. No charge, nothing. I just want you to see it. I just want to share it with you guys. But what were you about to say, Kenny?
Oh, no, I was just going to piggyback off what you're saying, man, especially when it comes to the eating, dude. Is Mitch is saying you can do what you want. And honestly, guys, you can do what you want. But look, let me just put it to you like this. You can go and break the law if you want to, but you're gonna get your ass put in jail. You can go shoot somebody if you want to, but you're gonna get put in jail. You can go and get mad and put your hands on your husband if you want to, but miss, they're going to take you to jail. So you guys, this is really a call of alert. This we don't want to tell you what to do because we want to avoid controversy if we have to, but don't get it twisted. I'm welcoming the controversy in the fight, because this is a fight. This is a fight for life, dude. And I truly, truly believe in this. We got a lot of people out there. We want to make this quote unquote nation great again, right? You got everybody talking about Christian this and Christian that, and so if that's the case, and we talking about spirituality, if that's the case, then go into your Bible and look and see how it says how you eat, or into your doctrine. Every doctrine pretty much that talks about living right gives you how to eat. And if that's not enough information that you need, then you have to check not only who you are, but check your faith. Because we're not supposed to be consuming the animals. And it's not so much it is with the health, but also it's with the natures of life. If a purge did happen and your next door neighbor got hungry, would that shit be crazy if they started chasing you down with some pitchforks or some guns to eat you? You'd be surprised how many people is not shy to eat someone else when it comes to feast or famine. Because a lot of people think vegetables are the drug or the worst thing.
Imagine
you can
eating
do.
that. Look at that awesome pup right there.
And
It's
look,
like a lot of times when people are like,
somewhere in the world,
carnivores
that
or
dog looks
omnivores
delicious.
or whatever, it's like, well, yeah,
they eating dogs right now somewhere in the world,
Yeah.
So
but they're not eating it raw. They're not just biting into it and killing it from.
they send them back
with their
over here and
mouth.
put them in the Chinese fast food places y'all keep eating at. That's what they doing with
So
it.
maybe we should talk about how raw dog is a little raw dog. How we could eat this dog raw and it'll be healthier for us, right?
Man, I'm not eating Bowser, bro.
That's where you want to go.
I can't eat Bowser Clark,
But it's funny how the line, of domestication suddenly came in. And again, I'm not bashing meat eaters. I'm just having a conversation. I'm just talking, and being so everyone can hear us.
So you hate people who eat meat, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
No,
not at all. Because I'll probably eat meat again.
Yeah,
it could be tomorrow. But the thing about it is there's another animal right there. What stops us from eating Doug?
Because that's a life, man.
Yeah.
That's a life. To me, y'all, that's a soul, man. I believe in that reincarnation stuff, man. I mean, look, ain't none of us left nowhere, dude. Energy doesn't leave the room.
Yeah.
Energy stays in the room. And then when the body leaves, the energy will exit. When we get out of here, this energy that was here before we came here, is going to be here. And we're going to take our energy that we brought in with it away. You know, so there's nothing new under this sun. That dog could have been somebody's soul back in the day. That dog's still gonna feel that burn, that cut, that slice, that choke, everything that you feel, that dog's gonna feel. When it's hot, that dog wanna get in the damn house just like you do.
And lay in the air conditioner and sleep.
Yeah, so you gotta figure, man, this is not just you know, like it says in the Bible, we don't fight against flesh and blood, but we fight against principalities. Yeah. And right now, these are principles we're fighting against, the ways to eat. These are all laws that we're fighting. This is not, I'm fighting the way meat tastes. This is laws.
Yeah, I like that.
You know,
yeah, that's good.
How are you going to live?
Robert Morris would say it's all chemistry.
Yeah, man. How are you going to live?
Yeah, I like when he says there's two sides to chemistry. You know, there's duality and
because there's him and there's a tree. You have the man and then you have the nature, and together they become a chemistry, and they have a symmetry with each other. You can't have the house without the wood. You know what I mean? You can't have the bed without the patron. You know, they all come together, and those are things where in this enlightenment period that we're in, people are going to start figuring that out, and they're going to see people go by the wayside because the food and the bad consumption it's not getting better. And it's not going to get better. It's going to be guys like us three sitting up here, and we're going to have a bigger panel of people behind us, because you're going to start seeing it in evidence. Like, we're going to have to start dropping dead. You know what I mean? Like, it's just going to have to happen that way, because we're stuck now. We're not in a what is it, a PSA society no more, where you can give a PSA and everybody believes it, and then we live in this way. Everybody got their own goddamn PSA and their own little key of life, and it's like that's no. There's only one, probably 3 keys of life that we all must abide by. And right now, you cannot be eating these birds and stuff that got a soul, man. You can't do it. You can't do it. And this is not about I'm better than you or anything else. This is just the laws. And you guys, if you don't believe me now, if you complain about the food and the water now, you think they're putting all this money into all this with this war going on? You think they're gonna take a little bit of cheese out that war and put it on top of these burgers that we talking about? Hell no. They're gonna put more money into these wars, into these fighting, and it's gonna be only the strong survive. Yeah. That's it, man.
All right, time to lighten it back up.
You know,
let's lighten it back up.
Let's lighten it back up. My bad, y'all.
That's all right.
I
knew what to expect when I invited Kenny.
They're not ready for that.
This show went like super deep today, but I think it was for all the right reasons, because there are people out there who, like I said earlier, are ready to resonate with the information that was delivered, and there are people who are not, and there are people who might have their feelings hurt, and that's okay, because it's their choice to get their feelings hurt. And we're not here to hurt anyone's feelings. We're here to lift you up. We're here to encourage you.
Straight up.
Spread information.
Help
inspire
people
life.
Inspire life. Guys, the Pants Off podcast is about you. It's about you coming into our world and hearing what it is that we're passionate and excited about. And if you're ready to run with it, run with it. So that's it, guys. I want to thank Kenny Bell for coming in here today. I want to thank my son, Mitch.
Thank you guys for being open and listening to what we have to say.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Yeah,
JJ, we love you. We miss you, brother.
What up, JJ?
Jeremy, hello.
That's it. Make it a great day.
Love you guys. Peace.
Peace. Madden Man out.
You're listening to the Pants Off podcast with Clark Bartram and Jeremy Jackson. CBTs, performance apparel, where fashion meets performance. Upload your custom design or grab the CBTs deal of the week at clarkstees.com. The podcast with CB and JJ is sponsored by Providence Video Productions in Escondido, California, providers of full creative video and audio production services. Utilizing state-of-the-art professional equipment for all your broadcast needs. Webpage embedded or live streaming videos and podcasts. Aerial drone videography. Music videos, 3D animation, studio and field production. Contact us at vid.com.